Ever had that gut punch feeling when you're pouring your heart out and the other person is just waiting for their turn to talk? Or maybe, and be honest here, you've been the one checking emails while someone's telling you about their weekend. Here's the thing, most of us think we're good listeners. Spoiler alert, we're not. Ouch, right? But don't worry, I've spent 30 years watching people mess this up, and I've identified the 10 listening habits that are sabotaging your conversations. And number 6? It's probably killing your career right now. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Listening isn't passive, it's one of the most active skills you'll ever develop. And it's the difference between being that person everyone wants to work with or being the one people avoid. Look, I've coached executives who couldn't figure out why they weren't advancing, and it almost always came down to one thing. They weren't really hearing what others were saying. Here's what we're covering today. The 10 deadly listening habits I've seen destroy careers. The exact phrases to use instead. A stupid simple technique that will transform your conversations overnight. Wow, I've been studying this for 3 decades, and I still catch myself making these mistakes. So don't beat yourself up, just grab a notebook and let's fix this. Which of these habits are you guilty of? Drop a comment below. I'll bet I can guess the most common one. All right, habit number 1, turning everything back to yourself. We've all been trapped by that person who responds to your vacation story with, "That reminds me of my vacation, which was so much better." Like, seriously, we get it. You've done cool stuff too. Here's why this happens. People think sharing similar experiences shows empathy, but it actually signals I care more about my story than yours. The fix? After someone shares something, take a breath, count to 3. Then ask a follow-up question about their experience before sharing yours. Try this. How did that feel for you? Or, what was the best part about that? Have you noticed how much people light up when you ask these questions instead of jumping in with your story? Habit number 2, interrupting or finishing people's. Well, that was meta. Interrupting comes from 2 places, excitement or impatience. Either way, it's like hitting a conversational speed bump. I coached a brilliant VP who couldn't figure out why her team wasn't innovative. Turns out she finished everyone's thoughts so often that they stopped sharing completely. Quick fix, practice what I call active silence. If you feel the urge to jump in, put your hand on your leg and physically hold yourself back. Count to 3 after they finish speaking. The magic happens in those 3 seconds of waiting. People will often add something surprising if you just wait. Aha! That pause is where the gold is buried. Try it today. Habit 3, rushing to fix everything. This is huge, especially for my fellow problem solvers out there. You know the drill. Someone mentions they're overwhelmed and immediately you're like, you should delegate more. Have you tried this app? Just wake up earlier. But here's what's happening in their head. Oops! Sometimes people just need to be heard, not handed a solution. The simple fix? Ask this one question. Are you looking for solutions right now, or do you just need to vent? This question is magic. It shows respect for their process and builds massive trust. Right. I've saved countless relationships with this one question. Habit 4, letting distractions hijack your attention. Let's be brutally honest, you cannot multitask. It's not a thing. When you're just checking this email real quick, you're actually saying, you're not important enough for my full attention. Fun fact, when you're distracted during a conversation, you miss about 75% of the emotional content. That's where all the important stuff lives. Look, I'm guilty of this too. Our devices are designed to be addictive. But the solution is dead simple. 1, putting phone away in drawer. 2, closing laptop. 3, person giving full attention to conversation partner. 4, put your phone away, not just down, away. 5, close your laptop. 6, say it out loud. Let me close this so I can focus on you. That last part? Saying it explicitly? It scores you major points because it shows intentional respect. When was the last time someone gave you their complete attention? How did it feel? Habit 5, the dreaded conversation killer, not asking follow-up questions. We've all been there. You share something exciting and get nothing but nice or cool in response. Conversation dead end. It's like talking to a wall wearing headphones. The absence of follow-up questions sends one clear message. I'm not really interested in what you're saying. Great listeners are curious. They ask questions that go beyond the surface. What led you to that decision? How did that impact you? What surprised you most about that? Just one good follow-up question can transform small talk into a meaningful connection. Think about how you feel when someone asks you a thoughtful question about something you shared. It feels amazing, right? Habit 6, and this is the career killer I mentioned, critiquing instead of understanding. When someone opens up and you respond with, "That's a terrible idea," or "You're overreacting," you're not just shutting down the conversation, you're shutting down the relationship. I've seen more workplace relationships destroyed by this habit than any other. Here's the thing, even if you disagree, understanding should come before evaluation. Try this approach. 1. Validate their perspective first. I can see why you'd feel that way. 2. Ask questions to understand deeper. What led you to that conclusion? 3. Then, and only then, share your perspective. I see it a bit differently. Remember, people don't care what you think until they know you understand what they think. Think of someone who makes you feel understood even when they disagree with you. What do they do differently? Habit 7. Thinking you're psychic, also known as jumping to conclusions. Spoiler alert, you're not Professor X and you can't read minds. This happens when we think we know where someone's going with their thought, so we leap ahead, usually in the wrong direction. I once had a client who was trying to tell his boss about a project delay, but the boss kept saying, I know, budget issues. Turns out the delay was because they'd secured a bigger client. Total misread. The fix is simple, but requires restraint. Let people finish their thoughts completely. Then paraphrase to check understanding. So what you're saying is, ask if you've got it right. Did I understand correctly? Wow, the relief on people's faces when they realize you're actually trying to understand them? Priceless. Habit 8, overlooking the crucial points, basically forgetting the important stuff. Nothing stings quite like sharing something important, your big presentation, your kid's recital, only to have someone completely forget about it later. It's not just annoying, it erodes trust. The problem? We typically remember only about 25% of what we hear. But you can hack this. 1. Reflect back key details. So your presentation is on Tuesday at 2 p.m.? 2. Make connections to existing knowledge. That's right after our team meeting got it. 3. Take quick notes on important dates or details. Remembering the details someone shares is like giving them a gift. It says, what matters to you matters to me. Right. Being the person who remembers the details makes you stand out immediately. Habit 9. Your body is screaming, I don't care, even when your words say otherwise. You might be saying all the right things, but if your arms are crossed, you're leaning away, or your eyes are darting around the room, your body is broadcasting disinterest on all frequencies. The fix is simple body mechanics. Face the person squarely, maintain comfortable eye contact, lean slightly forward, uncross your arms, nod occasionally. The crazy thing? These physical adjustments actually change your mental state too. When you position your body to listen, your brain follows suit. Have you ever noticed how someone's body language immediately tells you if they're really listening? Our final habit, number 10, becoming defensive or taking things personally. This is when someone says, we should improve our reporting process, and then you hear, you are terrible at reporting. Oh man, I still catch myself doing this sometimes. Defensive listening hijacks conversations because suddenly it's all about managing your emotions rather than understanding their message. The solution requires a pause. 1. Take a deep breath. 2. Ask for clarification. Can you tell me more about what you mean by that? 3. Remind yourself, this isn't personal, it's information. I've seen entire teams transform when they master this one habit. When defensiveness drops, real communication can finally begin. Now let's make this actionable. I call this the one habit challenge. Instead of trying to fix all 10 habits at once, guaranteed to fail, pick the one that resonated most with you. For the next week, 1. Set a specific intention each morning to work on that habit. 2. Put a reminder on your phone or desk. 3. After each conversation, rate yourself. Did you catch yourself in the act? I celebrate small wins. This is hard work. Here's my personal confession. Habit number 3, rushing to solve problems, is my biggest challenge. I literally have to sit on my hands sometimes to stop myself from jumping in with solutions. Which one habit will you focus on this week? Let me know in the comments. Let's wrap this up with some real talk. Becoming a better listener isn't just about professional success, though it will absolutely accelerate your career. It's about something more fundamental, genuine human connection. In a world where everyone's shouting to be heard, the ability to truly listen is your superpower. Think about how it feels when someone really listens to you. That's what you're giving others when you master these skills. The change won't happen overnight. You'll mess up, we all do. But each time you catch yourself and make a small adjustment, you're rewiring decades of bad habits. And the results? People will seek you out. They'll trust you more. They'll remember you as someone who made them feel valued. How different would your relationships be if everyone around you eliminated these 10 bad habits? If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Next week, I'm sharing the advanced listening techniques that took me 20 years to discover. Until then, remember, listening isn't about being quiet. It's about being present.